You want to grow food in the sky, no dirt, no weather, no seasonal droughts, just stacks of pristine LED trays, computer-calibrated liquid nutrients, and leafy greens growing 3 times faster than anything buried in soil. It sounds like the ultimate technological hedge against climate collapse and fragile global supply chains. It isn't. Vertical farming is not an agricultural business. It is a real estate and energy speculation engine disguised as a salad company. And unless you understand the ruthless physics of artificial photon production, it will consume your capital until there is nothing left. Entry into this industry depends entirely on your scale of operational risk. At the lowest level, you have the modular turnkey container farm. For $120,000 to $180,000, a vendor drops a retrofitted 40-foot shipping container in your parking lot. It comes pre-wired with climate control, dosing pumps, and vertical growing racks. You can produce roughly 6 zeros and heads of lettuce or herbs per year. It looks simple, it feels decentralized. But your cost of goods sold per unit will hover so close to wholesale grocery pricing that your actual profit margin is a statistical rounding error. Step up to the regional commercial facility, and your buy-in scales from $3 million to $8,000 thousands. Here, you lease a 25,000 square foot industrial warehouse near a major urban center. You install multi-tier racking systems 8 levels high, automated nutrient delivery manifolds, and commercial HVAC infrastructure capable of moving tens of thousands of cubic feet of air per minute. You are no longer selling to local farmers markets. You are pitching regional grocery distributors. At the peak sits the institutional mega facility. This is a 30,000 to 100 million automated monolith. Spanning over 100,000 square feet, with vertical stacks reaching 40 feet high, human workers rarely touch the crop. Autonomous shuttles transport seed trays, automated harvesting lines pack the produce, and central machine learning algorithms monitor plant transpiration rates in real time. This level is built exclusively with venture capital and institutional private equity. To understand why this model breaks down, you have to look at the underlying economic engine. The photon substitution penalty. When traditional farmers plant a crop in California or Texas, the primary input, sunlight, is delivered at a fixed price, $0. When you move that crop inside a climate-controlled warehouse, you replace the sun with light-emitting diodes. In a vertical hydroponic facility, every single calorie of photosynthetic active radiation must be generated through an electrical meter spinning on the outside of your building. To grow 1 kilogram of dry plant matter indoor, your facility will consume between 25 and 40 kilowatt hours of electricity. If your local industrial grid rate is 12 cents per kilowatt hour, your energy cost just to light the crop exceeds 3 zirons per kilogram. That is before you pay for water filtration, heating, cooling, or labor. And that brings us to the operational reality of microclimate stratification. Plants do not just consume light. They transpire nearly 95% of the water delivered to their root systems directly into the air. In a dense vertical stack, thousands of plants create localized pockets of extreme humidity and heat. If your airflow drops for even 20 minutes, moisture settles on the leaves, creating an immediate breeding ground for Pythium root rot and Botrytis mold. To prevent total crop loss, you must run industrial dehumidifiers and precision HVAC systems 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You are essentially paying to put the sun inside a box, and then paying a second time to remove the heat that sun created. This operational dynamic dictates your entire product catalog. You cannot grow wheat, corn, soy, or root vegetables vertically. The caloric density per square foot is too low, and the growing cycle is too long. The physics force you into high water, short cycle, high-margin crops, butterhead lettuce, basil, arugula, and microgreens. You are not feeding the world. You are selling premium $5 bags of pre-washed baby spinach to affluent suburban shoppers. The interior spatial architecture of a vertical farm is not designed for human comfort. It is designed to maximize volumetric canopy density. Every square foot of concrete slab must support thousands of pounds of vertical steel framing, water lines, and light fixtures. The flooring is seamless, antimicrobial epoxy, pitched precisely toward industrial drainage channels. The lighting array is dialed to a harsh, unnatural magenta hue, a tailored combination of deep red and blue wavelengths, optimized strictly for chlorophyll absorption. Air-handling ducts snake through every level of the vertical rack, creating a continuous laminar airflow wall to break the boundary layer of air surrounding each leaf. It is an environment engineered to eliminate nature entirely. But eliminating nature means you also eliminate nature's buffers. In traditional soil, a minor nutrient imbalance or power outage is absorbed by the surrounding earth. In a closed-loop hydroponic system, a single failing dosing valve or a 4-hour electrical outage can shift the pH of your nutrient reservoir, burning the root systems of 100 0 visible plants simultaneously. There are no second chances. A technical failure is not a slight drop in yield. It is a total canopy collapse. The operational landscape of vertical farming is littered with catastrophic capital destruction. Consider the failure of AppHarvest. In 2021, the company went public via SPAC at a valuation exceeding $1 million, promising to revolutionize agriculture with massive high-tech indoor facilities in Appalachia. They built a 60-acre facility, raised hundreds of millions from investors, and went to market. The fatal flaw was a combination of capital structure and operational friction. They built massive, highly leveraged facilities before perfecting their labor efficiency and crop yield metrics. As energy costs spiked and construction overruns mounted, their operating expenses dwarfed their revenue. The top-line sales of tomatoes could never support the massive debt service required to build the infrastructure. By mid-2023, AppHarvest declared Chapter 11 bankruptcy, liquidating its assets for a fraction of their construction cost. Then examine Fifth Season, a Pittsburgh-based robotic vertical farming startup that raised over $75 million. Their downfall was a pure market mismatch. They engineered a fully automated facility using proprietary robotics to plant, tend, and harvest leafy greens without human intervention. While the technology worked, the capital expenditure per square foot was astronomical. They were selling packaged salads into regional grocery chains at market-competitive prices, while carrying the overhead of a venture-backed robotics firm. When the macroeconomic environment shifted and soft venture capital evaporated, the business could not generate enough gross profit to cover its fixed corporate overhead and technology amortization. They shut down operations overnight, leaving a state-of-the-art facility vacant. The economic reality of vertical hydroponic farming collapses into a stark structural equation. Net profit equals crop yield minus the sum of the following costs: capital depreciation plus electricity costs, plus HVAC system operating costs, plus skilled labor costs. In a mature, well-executed commercial operation, realistic net margins hover between 4% and 8%, and that is assuming 0 major crop failures and long-term energy price stability. The operators who succeed in this space do not view themselves as agricultural pioneers. Look at companies like AeroFarms, or select specialized regional growers who survive restructuring. They operate like cold chain logistics providers and precision chemical processors. They secure long-term, fixed-rate power purchase agreements, co-locate near renewable power generation or cheap industrial waste heat, and contract their output directly to high-margin retail buyers before a single seed is germinated. Vertical farming does not disrupt the laws of economics. It merely swaps the free gifts of nature: sun, rain, and soil for bank loans, utility bills, and hardware replacement cycles. The system is engineered to sell high-tech hardware to optimistic investors and expensive greens to affluent consumers. If you try to run it as a casual agricultural venture on debt, the light bulbs won't be the only thing burning out.